So from a professional standpoint, where are you flirting with disaster right now? Where are you trying to fix?
So I just took back over one of our companies and trying to get that back on the up and up. So
Why'd you
that's
take it back?
um, because well, there's a good asset there, and it's good cash flow, and it's good for what we're building next, which is building a portfolio. So it's just been on a decline because I was focused on another company in our portfolio, and the every time I've given growth off for that company, it's just gone down, and it makes a pretty quick and substantial impact on profit. But you can literally see our growth trends. It's like up, down, up. When I take it back over, down, up, down. And I'm not the best at owning that role, but for whatever reason, the way that I've handed that off and to the people that I've handed off to, I haven't done it in the proper way that things have gone down. So getting that turned back around so that we're on the up and up, so that profit's back where I'm used to it being, and then moving into the next phase. But doing so while that keeps going in the exact way that we're talking about, that's my big challenge and opportunity right now, which is fun. It's underway. It just takes a little bit of time to get things turned around. So yeah, I'm anxious to see how I can do that while stepping away.
Yeah, the baton handoff is so important,
Yeah.
right? And what I hear you saying is you maybe gotten that baton handoff wrong or handed it to the wrong person. What did you learn from that, and what will you do different this next time you hand the baton off?
Yeah, good question. I'd say with each one, it was a little bit different. With the first one, it was just the wrong person. He was really, really strong at sales, and he wanted more opportunity, and he kind of outgrew head of sales. That I was like, all right, you understand everything that we're talking about. We have some great strategic chats about this stuff. I was like, you can take over head of marketing and basically be head of growth overall. And that was a totally different skill set than head of sales once you get into the nitty gritty. And there wasn't a proper transition where he stopped all the things that were working. Yes, they could have been optimized. We all saw that there was opportunity to improve them, but you don't stop anything that's working until you create something that replaces it. And we did that, and that was very, very, very expensive. But that's not the worst part. The worst part is I didn't fix it. I let him in that role for way too long, and ultimately didn't officially let him go for 18 months, where I knew early on, a lot of these probably aren't going to work based on the experience that I had, and I had a lot more experience in that than he did. So I didn't make the decision fast enough, and
What
that
stopped you from making that decision
I
faster?
had a ton of respect for him, and honestly, I wasn't the leader that I needed to be. I wasn't. Again, it goes back to fear. I didn't have the confidence in myself to be like, hey, I believe this is not going to work, that I need to make a decision and bet on that. But things went from really, really good, top 0.1 type of percent type of business to, very low profit margins and in a pretty quick period of time. So ultimately, I'd say I lost about $1 million in that move, just with that one role,
In 18
personally,
months.
personally.
Yeah, in
Yeah.
18
Yeah.
months.
Yeah.
It's a very short window.
Yeah.
What will you do different next time so you have intuition or inkling like this isn't the right human?
Yeah.
How did you learn from that lesson? How do you fire fast?
Yeah, good question. So we do trial periods for basically any new role. And a lot of times that's like a 2 week trial period because we say that you have very high confidence at 2 days and 2 weeks. So 2 days in, once somebody starts, you'll see so much more than you see in the hiring process, even the testing process, no matter how much you do, right? And you'll have a good kind of gut feel. And then at the end of 2 weeks, you'll have even stronger feel. So we have outs then. I didn't have that in place for roles transitioning from one to the next, right? But then also it's just like a better scorecard and metric system to be able to say, hey, like if this is happening over a three month span, like that means you're not even a PIP. It's like
Right.
basically a plan to get removed. And PIP is performance improvement plan, which basically means that you're looking to either move up or move out.
Right.
And so just having those systems in place. At the end of the day, it's like, all right, what systems can we put in place that can make this easier? Way less stress on me. I don't have to have the conversations. It's like everybody knows the game, right?
So what I hear you saying is you almost dehumanize the process
Yeah.
because the reason that you didn't let him go for 18 months, what I heard you say is you had a ton of respect for him, which also means you liked him, you valued him, you knew what he was possibly capable of doing, maybe in a different role. You saw some potential there, but there was like a very human element.
Yeah.
And in leading the business, now what I hear you saying is you kind of dehumanize the process and just keep it all metrics bound.
Yes, so that you can actually have more human connection and care,
Yeah.
right? Because like if you're like you talked about decision fatigue, if you're spending all your time with all these different decisions, you don't really have the time or energy to care for your team. Whereas like if everything's super clear, then your job is to support them. right? And it's just a completely different frame, and everybody's clear and aligned, and it's just like the decisions are made. So it's taking out all the decisions that we have to do so that everybody's clear and playing the same game so that you can help everybody win it better.
Yeah, it's funny because a lot of times failure to perform in the role comes from a lack of clarity on what success truly looks like in the role.
Yeah.
I think a lot of us as leaders, as business owners, we know in our mind what we want to do. We know in our mind what success looks like, but our ability to articulate that is often where the disconnect occurs. Yeah. So you talk a lot about vision. How do you get your team on board for the vision you have for the business and the opportunity for them?
Yeah, make it a part of everything that we do in the hiring process all the way through, right? So it's in the job postings, right? It's the first thing that we send as soon as they apply for the first step. We're looking for people that have the same vision. We call it the vision crossover. So what's the vision of the company? What's their vision? If those two things aren't aligned, then it's a no-go, right? So we're including that right from the start. And I don't see enough businesses really sharing that because you wanted people that are aligned for it. We call it the forever team strategy. It's like, who do you want to be playing the game of business with forever, for at least 5, 10, hopefully more years than that. So oftentimes we're hiring people for these one-off jobs or just thinking of a task or thinking of this fire that we have. No, like get somebody that's aligned with the vision and mission and start by sharing that right up front. The next is then sharing that ongoing, having regular meetings, having core values channels, having different things that you're always talking about the vision. Every single one of our full team meetings starts with team shout outs in the core values and the vision. And if we can go through those things every single time and everybody continues to say, excited in seeing that, then we all just win together in a much bigger way, and people stay longer. Our average person stays over 5 years, wow. which is pretty crazy.
So, do you think society and culture is accepting of the forever team in today's day and age?
I'm not sure, but I try to detach from all that, right? To create what you want. It's kind of like what we're talking about, right? So it's expensive to have to go out and hire new people all the time. It's exhausting to always have to fill roles and replace people, right? It's so distracting when somebody quits that you don't see quitting, that you have to go and help support in that area, or your team has to go help and support in that area. So if you look at the true cost of either not hiring the right people or not keeping them, it's insane. Like one of the best books is called Top Grading, and they say it's 17 to 26 times the salary of not hiring the right person. Again, let alone if you're having turnover on that as well. So I think it's pretty rare to have that forever team mentality and making that real. But it's also possible, and I would do what you can to make it happen.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it is very rare, and I think it is very possible. If you have the right vision, if you attract the right people, if you vet them properly, and if you truly buy into the vision they have for their lives as well. A lot of leaders buy into their own vision, buy into the vision of the business. But if you ask them what Sally wants to do this year, they'll be like, I don't even know. Yep. Well, how many kids does Sally have? I don't even know. Like, you have to get bought into your people's vision. Yep. So you said this vision intersection concept. How do you guys, through the interview process, through the onboarding process, capture the vision from the human so that you can make sure there's alignment or intersection there for you guys? Yeah,
it's right at the top of the scorecard. So the first thing on the scorecard is what's the vision for the role. Second thing on the scorecard is what's their vision, right? And your job as a leader is to help them achieve their vision. Yeah. And if you hire the right people, their vision is literally helping you to achieve your vision, right? Like that's literally what your job changes to. At the beginning, we have to do so many things ourselves, but quickly we have to transition to be focused on helping other people achieve theirs, which is the best way to achieve yours. And it's kind of the long way around, but it's the most leveraged way. So we keep it as at the top of the scorecard, and that's what we go through. And then every single month, we're going through that from a high level. But there should be no surprises from a team standpoint, whether somebody wants to do something new or go into a different role or definitely quit or if even being let go. None of that should be a surprise. Everything should be clear and mapped out and communicated openly. That builds a lot of trust, right?
How many of these conversations are you having, and how many people report directly to you versus people reporting to the people that report to you?
Yeah, right now I have 4 people reporting to me, and we usually recommend a max of 7, ideally a max of 5 people reporting to you. So the less, of course, the better. But yeah, we've got a pretty small team now that I can have 4 people report to me and be able to get a lot of things done. And it's easy that way. you know, and you can set up whatever cadence you want. But I like weekly check-ins, so weekly sync, and then department meetings, and Mondays and Thursdays, those are a little bit more meetings than others. But Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, I have wide open, you
Nice.
know, and it makes for a pretty light schedule. But also that allows me to do deep work on the most important things that are going to help support them and our clients in a bigger way, right?